What? Like, so calling Dawson's Creek. Hi birds. So calling Dawson's Creek, like, it is so important to the history of teen shows. Totally heard, understood. However, it's like calling Grey's Anatomy, like, important to the history of medical dramas. My executive producer is grooming herself aggressively off camera again, but it is instrumental in that. However, it is also painfully boring at a certain, like, it could have stopped sooner. However, I watched attentively through season 2, and while I was asleep through season 3. I think I've seen the first episode of season 3 times because I kept falling asleep and then continuing to still try and watch the show. Couldn't. I could not make myself watch season 3. And so you were never going to hear me talk about season 3. If you want to hear me talk about about half of season 1, you could check out my video about grooming Pacey, which should be in the card, but is probably in the description and definitely in the Teen TV playlist. Teen TV is my series where I talk about TV from the early 2000s on the teen networks. Because when I saw this episode play out, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I don't know if I want to spoil it for you. I'm just going to walk you through the next 4 episodes. I think my high horse says this is stupid and bad. But the part of me that loves network TV knows what this is. We were allowed to do multiple storylines. When a season could be 23 episodes long, every episode didn't have to be about the most important thing, about the main cast. It could just be about some things. And also, in the teen TV boom, people were leaving and entering shows left and right. And you had to figure out how to say anything about these characters leaving. I am not watching all of season 2. You will be happy to know that I am making a big video about One Tree Hill as I have finished season 1 and I only have about 5 episodes left in season 2. The Ballad of Abby, season 2, episode 17, Psychic Friends. Okay, so what you need to know is that we have introduced the characters of Jack and Andy, and I think I talked about them in the original cut of the first video, but Andy and Jack are these perfect on the outside all-American teens that have so much tragic backstory. Jack and Andy having a dead older brother. Let's get the board. Oh shit. Why would I make this harder for myself? So we've got Jack and Andy. They have a dead older brother. I'd also believe Jack is older than Andy. We have a mean, strict dad. I don't care that it's sideways, and you shouldn't either. We have a mentally ill, I've already started writing, so it's there. Mentally ill mom. You think she's dead? You think dead mom? No. Dead brother. We have mentally ill mom. And Andy suffers from mental health struggles like her mom. Is she going to snap like her mom? Ooh woo, ooh woo. And lastly, most importantly, I'm gonna turn this away so I can write it.
But you're gay.
This is what they won an award for. So Jack is gay, but we don't know that. So they move to town and This is after all that has happened between Joey and Dawson, and so Joey is trying to find anyone other than Dawson, and she really likes the sweet and confident Jack. He's on the football team, he's a jock, so Joey becomes his beard. But then he starts writing a poem about a man's body, and the weird homophobic teacher is like, gay, slur, 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 slur. And Dawson's like, you shouldn't call him a slur. We're in the 90s. We can change mean dad to mean dad. I'm not saying you can be homophobic and nice, but he is also mean. This is kind of what we're dealing with here, is all-American family but gay and mentally ill. The worst things you can be in 1998. And I was both of them. Yeah, I was born by the point that the show was airing. I was like, the show started airing in 1998. I had to check in on that. In the previous episode, Jack I don't think he's outed to everyone, but Joey knows that he's gay. And I also believe that Dawson knows that he's gay, but that's not important.
But you're gay.
No, because Dawson doesn't know, because Dawson is still jealous. So, on the episode Psychic Friends, Joey and Jack go to the school fair, and they're bopping around doing stuff, and they're both trying to like convince each other to like get out there, date. So Jack is like helping her, and there's this guy, and he's a photographer, and he decides that he thinks Joey's beautiful and that she wants to be his muse. Now I think that Katie Holmes as Joey Pate Potter is one of the plainest women to ever be on a TV show. But you know what? Some people find art in dirt. So the mundane can be whatever you need it to be. Jack is gay best friending it up. However, he doesn't want to be gay best friend. When she goes to the shoot with the man, they're kind of flirting, and then he gets real close to her, and he's like,
Yes.
Is your friend Jack dating anyone?
like, do you think Jack would want to get dinner sometime? And she's like, oop, clocked. And she's like, absolutely. Because he was winging for her, so she wants to wing for him. And so she gets back and she's like, batting for the opposite team. Whoa, you got a date on Tuesday. And he gets mad. He's like, how dare you? I can't be out. Which is like fair, but he's just like, how dare you? And it's like, she's trying to be nice, but I get it. So like, that's their plot point.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, Joey. I overreacted. I know that I should be moving forward towards this whole new sexual identity. Truth is, I'm just not ready.
Jack's whole thing, because apparently in the 90s and 2000s, there was the thought idea of painting gay men specifically as just people. Which is like, yes, they are just people, but saying that like these gays are the correct gays and these are the gays that you should be wanting to support. So let's move to Andy. Andy has a gay brother, a dead brother, mentally ill mom, and worst of all, is dating Pacey. Andy is another kind of plain looking girl. I find all of them to be particularly plain except for Michelle Williams, who honestly is too good to be here. We will get to the pain and suffering held by Michelle Williams because that girl never stops suffering. The plot thickens. We start our plot at the 11-minute mark at 11:30 because I don't care about the first part. I just told you how we got here. And all of our characters converge on the psychic booth. She's a quack with Joey that at first reads her for Phil and tells her that she needs to be taking chances, which she takes to go see the man. Jen is at the market with Grams, who she has smoothed things over with. Jen is on the outside of the group. Michelle Williams cannot stop suffering. like everything bad happens to Jen. She cannot stop suffering. Jen and Dawson fell out, and that he could pursue her. So that he could pursue things with Joey, which blew up with Joey saying she wants to focus on herself, and that if she gives herself to Dawson now, she'll literally never look back. She'll stay with him forever. That she believes that they are soulmates, but if they don't try other things, they will never find other things. And she wants to live, damn it. She'll forgo her dreams. She stays with him. So Jen and her tragic backstory fall in with a nice boy, and then she breaks it off with him because she doesn't think she's good enough with him. Jen's tragic backstory is that every bad thing that could happen to a pretty blonde white girl in the 90s happens. Sexual assault, grooming, parental abandonment, drug use. She is a dark cloud of nihilism that the longer I watched the show, the more uncomfortable I was with how this was happening. Little did I know that literally they would take Jen, give her a curlier do, put her about 700 miles south, and say, boom, Peyton. I hope everything ended up fine for her in the end, because I could not continue watching her suffer, but she really does just like suffer. Abby sees the psychic and is upset because she's always upset. Pacey confronts the psychic and she reads him for filth about his abandonment issues. Joey goes to meet a guy that he turns out he's gay for Jack. Jack doesn't want to just be gay and set up on a gay date with this guy. He has been struggling with being out and rebuffs being a gay best friend stereotype. Okay, so I am back. We are back. And so you've got Andy and the gay brother. So now we're moving on to episode 18, The Perfect Wedding. And like, I'm just like astounded by this show. Oh, other thing, I never talked about Dawson because I hate him. I thought I was always going to hate the main character of these shows because they have to be so bland that everything bounces off of them. I really like Lucas, but we'll get into that later. So Dawson has a cheater mom, crash out dad, aggressive, wants to be film maker. So everything here, I'm sorry it's backwards for you. Everything here is what you need to know about Dawson. You know, his best friend is Pacey, the groomed boyfriend of Andy, gay brother. Situationshiped with Joey. And Joey is Dawson's love interest. So Dawson is in current competition with gay brother Jack that I realized I didn't put on the actual board. That's Pacey instead of Dawson. Hold up. They will get into a situationship, but that's not what we're talking about. So like Dawson is, because it's a soap and things need to happen, the plot moves at will. Like I said previously, that he has a job at the movie theater video rental store that we will never see again because I think that's just a summer job and we never see them in the summer again, really. Well, they're like, hey, you want to make some extra money? Because Joey's dad, who just got out of prison like 3 episodes ago, is over ambitiously decided to be a caterer because the sister had a restaurant for this wedding for some rich people. And Joey is like, everyone in town is talking about my jailbird dad, how he might have murdered some people. Oh, God forbid a man murder. My nails are so cute. God forbid a man murder. She's just like feeling the heat of his existence. And it kind of feels like he came back into their life and didn't really apologize for how he fucked it up. He makes really bad decisions, and that her sister is just kind of rubber stamping it and being like, our dad's back, aren't you excited? Which is fair, because the sister has like an 8-month-old. Joey's sister's catering business is asked to do a wedding with the dad as the lead. Joey's suspicious, and the gay best friend gives her some good advice, Jack. Gives her some good advice about not, trying to hold on to adult business. Joey ignores it. And for the plot, our cast minus Jen and bitchy Abby are going to be waiters at the wedding. Do I want to introduce you to Abby? Let's introduce you to Abby. What do you need to know about Abby? What do you need to know about the great and powerful Abster? I'll let you know. So at the start of season 2, like many theater shows do, we are introduced to Abby. And Abby is just, I think she's in Dawson's movie that he's trying to make with, Jen. And everything, and she's in there, and she's the lead. She's putting up a pretty good, but she's the worst. She's a bitch. She's in the background of, every episode because she's, quasi friends with Jen, because Jen is just tragic backstory rolled in a cigarette, smoked outside of a leaking propane tank. The girl is suffering incarnate. She just appears in the plot to be a rain cloud. And in fact, I would have added it to this video, but I couldn't find the episode fast enough that my interest would have held you. Where she, everyone goes to therapy and talks about their feelings related to Dawson's cheating mother and crash out father. And how she's like, I just want to be involved. I'm so fucking bored and you guys are always doing something. It's like, oh, I get it. I respect you. I respect you a lot. So Jen wakes up the morning of the plot and she is just in a perpetual funk. There is not a time in the show that I watched where Jen isn't in a funk. That girl suffers. So she just wakes up with a wild hair.
Wait, what's the problem? Oh, Abby, I woke up this morning just so frustrated. All I wanted to do was climb the walls or light the place on fire
and she needs to let loose. So Abby encourages her to be debaucherous. Pacey and girlfriend are on staff for the wedding. Girlfriend being Andy. I don't know why I referred to her as that. Similar reason why I called the other one gay boyfriend. That was rude. Or gay best friend. Andy is under this weird disillusion. She has yet to let down her walls to let Pacey know that she's mentally ill yet. So he doesn't know why she's I just don't believe in marriage and love, but it's because her mom is crazy and she's crazy and her brother is dead. But we'll get there.
But I hate weddings. Bridesmaids in hideous dresses, people getting all gooey. They're too maudlin and sentimental.
Andy doesn't believe in weddings and love. It's deeper than that, and she is traumatized by her dad. That love doesn't exist. This is a fun subversion of the couple who doesn't want to believe in marriage, where the boy is normally non-committal, and where, not here, Pacey is here, and he loves romance. He is a hopeless romantic. I think, because, I finished, season 4 or 5, and he was with Joey, and as much as I like a good girl and her ne'er-do-well boyfriend, I did not care for them together. I think the good girl ne'er-do-well boyfriend works best with Andy because Pacey's so traumatized and so is she. And they're just traumatized together. Love that for them. He convinces her to come do the wedding and love weddings. While they are prepping the cake for the wedding, and she's explaining her I hate weddings, she just absolutely beams the shit out of the topper of the cake, ruining the cake. And she's like, weddings are cursed. Maybe you were clumsy, but whatever. So now we have a plot. The bride is having a freak out.
A heart attack.
Do you want me to get somebody?
No, don't get anyone. Just help me get this window open.
About marrying this guy, even though she loves him. And Dawson's like, I'm gonna help her, I'm gonna fix her. And he's bad at it, and he asks Jack to tap in who's there, and Jack is better at it, and Dawson's so fucking pissed that this guy's just great and everyone likes him, and Joey's gonna date him. And at the end of it, Jack is like, I'm not dating Joey. Maybe you want to do that? I'm not doing that. You could do that. Dawson is having a crisis after a hot Hollywood movie producer called his work shit.
Okay, then I'm not going to sugarcoat it, Dawson. I think your film is completely uninspired. I mean, the production value's flat, your story's non-existent, even your dialogue isn't believable.
I mean, it needs some work. I mean, I know that.
It lacks emotion of any kind and says nothing to the audience.
He has also been trying to land Joey, and Jack is supposedly in the way of that. I don't think Dawson knows that Jack is gay yet. Dawson is jealous when the wedding happens. Oh my god. Dawson is jealous when the wedding happens. Jack tells Dawson to go at the wedding with the biggest hair and the milfiest tea. Sees crash out husband with hot younger woman, Dawson's mother. A hot younger woman that happens to be one of Dawson's teachers. At the halfway mark, Jen and Abby appear a little at the wedding.
This kind of distraction.
Are you kicking us out?
Yes. Okay, this is not a tailgate party. It's a wedding. It's invitation only. And your being here is gonna get us all in trouble. So please, just leave.
And Andy kicks them out after she has smacked the cake and is like, we don't have time for you fuckers. You two fuck-ups to be here ruining everything, and kicks them out of the wedding. Kind of harshly. They steal a bottle of champagne and head to the boardwalk. Dawson hugs Joey, and Joey makes up with her dad. And Pacey and Andy fix the cake. Yay, a win. The bride loves her cake, and she loves her husband, she loves her marriage, and nothing bad happened. So back with wild-haired Jen and Abby, drunk on the pier, they're giggling and silly, and Abby kind of has like this existential moment of weirdness, and then she bonks her head, and then she falls into the frozen ocean.
Ow! Ow! Wow, that hurt, you bitch! Abby! 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 Oh my god! Abby! Abby! Damn it, Abby! Abby!
As an expression of her malaise and depression of life, bye-bye Abby, and as she goes to save her friend, bye-bye Jen. Back at the wedding, everything is perfect and lovely. Crash Out and Cheater go dancing. Dawson and Joey decide to try everything with each other. Back at the sad pier, we see Abby in a body bag, and long-suffering Jen is left there alone. Her one friend who was willing to be debaucherous with her in this perfect town and under the diocese of perfection, gone with her. Gone away from her. And it's her fault for wanting to go out. All Jen does is suffer. Andy struggles with her non-specific mental illness that is made worse by the fact that she sent Abby to go fucking die. Episode 19, Rest in Peace, which is the centerpiece that this all is structured around, really. You'd think, like the show's bad. Like, I did not enjoy most of my time with it. But sometimes you have to give the show credit where it is due. So, it literally is like dead body, corpse, ambulance, cut. Episode 19, Rest in Peace. Joey and Dawson go to be freaky in Dawson's one bedroom. Joey and Dawson go to be freaky in Dawson's bedroom when they come across a wet and sad sobbing Jen. Great way to start an episode. No note. Recapping the killing of Abby. Nothing good ever happens to Jen. Yay. Not yay, but yeah. Yeah, nothing good ever happens to her. So Joey's mom is dead. She has died. So Joey just can't make herself be sad about this dead coworker slash classmate. Like, she simply could give not less of a fuck about Abby. So assume, similarly to as when I was talking about Pacey, that Dawson and Joey do whatever the fuck. Throughout the rest of this time, when I'm talking about grief and victim blaming and feeling bad about your own position in life, just assume that Dawson and Joey are just eye-fucking each other in the background of every scene. At school, a grief counseling group has been set up. Jen, who looks rough, like, Michelle Williams is a talented actress because she gets down. She's good. Queen of looking miserable. Casey and Andy are also there. Andy looks peppy but concerned, holding it together in her nervousness together with a thread. Jack is also there for some reason, probably to support his sister, and he technically knew the dead girl, but it's a little silly to put them in the same category of grief. Jen struggles with the fact that people who hated Abby are talking about her and are grieving her. It doesn't feel truthful. It feels very hollow to her. Like, these were people who were just looking for a reason to be the center of attention and grieve. Meanwhile, Abby was her friend, as complicated as Abby is, was her friend. And they were together when they died. So seeing other people just appear and be sad is maddening to the beloved Jennifer. At 6 minutes and 44 seconds, Megan. The people at school are buying armbands in her memory. Andy saying that in empty platitudes about Andy says some empty platitudes about having a beautiful spirit. Abby having a beautiful spirit. Andy goes to find Jen at about 9 minutes and 4 seconds. Is effectively like, we should be nice to dead people, actually.
But now that she's dead, you wax poetic about her great spirit. It's so insincere.
Well, I don't think it's appropriate to malign her character after she's gone.
It isn't maligning if it's true.
Andy is like, we should be nice about dead people. We should say nice things about them, even if they were terrible rapscallions to us in our day-to-day lives. It's just tacky to speak ill of the recently dead. Don't you agree? Jen does not agree. Poor Michelle Williams, walking around with mascara running all over her face, blaming Andy explicitly for Abby's death. They should not have had Andy and Abby be together in this plot point. The actress who played Abby left the show generally because she felt she had greener pastures to explore, that her time on the show had really yielded some good things for her, and she wanted to explore those and not continue on the show, so she left. But I think probably equally is the fact that they had too many bitches with similar names. How can you can't all be here. Jen suffers at home with Grams. Graham comes to offer her compassion.
So hard to understand why God would take someone so young with so much left to learn, so much to give. It really tests one's faith.
And talk about Jesus at the 12-minute and 44-second mark. God has a plan, but Jen simply cannot hear it right now. She's too sad. Pacey tries to comfort Andy. Abby's mother comes up and asks them to speak at the funeral. Jesus has a fucked up plan indeed. At the wake memorial service, whatever, memorializing, Jen drinks and throws a wrench and throws a reef. Jen continues to suffer. Andy and Pacey do research as they enter Abby's bedroom. They rifle around through Abby's diary to find that she had, they find her diary to find that she hated everyone. She truly did not like people. She's just a mean bitch that didn't like anyone or anything, constantly suffering, a dog waiting to be put down. Jen She refers to Jen as a bleach blonde slut, her mother as a dried up wench, and Andy as a psycho.
Dear Diary, another unbelievably annoying day here on Walton's Mountain. That slut Jen Lindley literally stole my new boyfriend and right out from under my nose. She's a bleach blonde hose bag. She's probably just having a bad day.
Sure.
Okay, dear Diary, my mother is driving me insane. I hate her so much I must be adopted. There's no way that I can share the same genes with that dried up old wench.
Sure, just another bad day, right?
Okay, dear Diary, that new girl Andy is such a psycho. How many ways can you tell a person?
Psycho. Joey tells Jack that she is going on with Pacey for now, or with Dawson for now, so don't worry about her. Dawson edits the movie he shot with Abby as lead. It is very surreal to him to look at this woman so full of life now be dead. Jen continues to suffer as she comes home drunk. Grandma is being very, very chill about this very drunk Jen. Jen says that there is no God. At the 23-minute 34-second mark.
Jennifer.
I cut for the last time, Grams. There is no God. And there is no heaven, and there is no peace, and there is no hope. The only truth that I know is pain.
Jen moves out, or at least threatens to. It's very messy. Funeral time. Everybody is here. Even if you didn't have anything to do with the rest of the plot, you are here at the funeral. Dawson's holding Joey's hand. Graham forgives Jen. Jen is still sassily suffering, and assume also drunk. Jen speaks at the funeral at the 29-minute 30-something second mark. She tells the truth. It is nasty and rude. Truthful maybe, but when people die, as much as one may or may not believe that there's something waiting for us on the other side and that they can see us and are looking down and they can still hear every word that you say about them, grief is for the living. And saying things that are true, well, what and who does that help besides the living? If the truth will set the living free, then that is sure to be the best option. But when in grief about the death of your child, maybe not telling everyone how much of a fucking bitch she was isn't the best decision to make. But whatever. I'm not an alcoholic teen child who is constantly suffering. Jesus Christ, Jen. This is not the time. Everyone is visibly uncomfortable after her speech. The mom is crying and Graham leaves the funeral. Andy does her speech, which is much more tasteful but true. It's about Abby and not reconciling and not about one's relationship with God. The
Deviously stirring up trouble and creating calamity and generally taking pleasure in other people's pain.
body isn't cold yet, and Dawson takes Joey away and tells her how much they need to be in each other's arms. I think they tell each other that they're gonna cool it on this relationship thing while his dead body's floating around. But then, right now, they're like, we gotta fuck now. Andy and Jack have a dead older brother that will haunt Andy until Andy will continue to haunt Andy. Andy goes to suffer with Jen. Jen apologizes for telling the truth and for telling Andy that she's the cause of Abby's death. She's now blaming herself. Jen already regrets the speech at the 36-minute mark. Dawson and Joey go to stare at Joey's dead mom's grave. Jen's grandmother has packed up all of her shit and kicked her out. Because all she does is suffer.
Some of the damage in our fragile relationship, only to find you heartlessly thumbing your nose at me. In a house of God, no less.
Given this suffering was kind of on her, she did not need to say and do all those things. But like, and this is the middle of the season. There's still like 6 more episodes left. Because I think it was like a 25 episode season. It's probably the reason why I could not abide this show. It was too long to try and recap for you. And I didn't care about the show enough to talk about those things. But I feel like this fulfills our agreement. This show's crazy. Whoops. They're just killing bitches off for plot. Imagine your death is just a plot point, but not in a way where people are gonna be sad about you forever. Like, I promise you, they do not bring up that dead bitch again. She does not get a wayward backstory, not a woo. Gone. Dead. Bye. Bye, Puddin'. Crazy. But yeah. That is my second Dawson's Creek video, because those were the two plot lines that I thought were the most insane. That I watched, at least. And I feel like we can close this door on it. If you want to hear about where we started on this, which was not that far from here, my long-standing series about teen television in late 90s and late 2000s, that is at the top of this playlist, and my teen TV series. My previous Dawson's Creek episode is just about Pacey getting groomed, which, you know, light subject matter, but it is what it is. How are we feeling about this lighting setup? I like this. I feel like I'm well lit, but also I'm not like looking at you from a weird angle. My neck is fully extended, and I feel like I can sit back if I want, but I don't need to sit back. So I'm liking this. That's all for me today. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Megan_Blush_. My beauty channel, Megan Blush as well, not Meglina. This is Meglina. I'm Meglina. And I'll talk to you later. Bye, birds. Bye, birds. Me and my skinny brows say bye, birds. Bye, dog.